for the charger. Yeah. And I go, you're probably going to need your whole panel replaced. They go, what do you mean? I go, I guarantee you your panel's overloaded as it is. And now you need another 50 amp breaker with 240 coming off of it. Like, they're going to end up replacing
Yeah, unless you have space. And I have space.
And sure enough, they had a 150 amp panel with 220 amps worth of breakers in it. Not space for anything. There was already, the panel was full. There was a sub panel on it already.
Yeah.
So like, they had, it was like 10 grand. They had to have whole new service put in. They had to trench the front lawn because everything was buried.
Because I want an expansion of one more bedrooms, I have to play the game of they're not getting closets, so I don't have to replace my septic. That's the way And the funny the part is the one bedroom. It's not even a bedroom. Though I use an office right now. It has a closet, which makes it a bedroom, but it's an office. Yeah. Like it's not. But I don't destroy the floor now. The wall. Like so now I have to play the game of like. Oh, my office is actually upstairs when they asked me about it. The bedroom's gonna go down there, and then we'll go occupancy, and then that's a later in life issue. Because I'm doing renovation, so I got a kid number 2.
Oh, jeez. I can't imagine. The people across the street from us moved. He got sick and they couldn't be in the house anymore. They put the house up for sale, and I was choked. It's basically the same size as what we have. And the entire weekend, it was packed. There wasn't an hour where there wasn't somebody walking around.
So it was
the
like,
house.
what's the difference of me being in debt because I'm in the place that I already renovated this while I was staying here? So why not just stay where I am versus like lose the money and buying and selling? And then you're just
well, and especially with that, like, well, and that's the problem. Like, I used to keep talking about it. It's like, oh, like, 'cause I like some of the stuff in their house, but I like the stuff in our house. Like, even if we sold our house and theirs, the higher interest rate is going to cost us way more. It's not even worth it.
It's crazy because I was like 27, so I got a stupid cheap. Very beginning was in January. I finally closed and Trump was president, and it became like market surge. So it jumped a whole. I got 1% more, and I remember being pissed. And now I look back on it and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Because I think we were at like 375 or something like that.
Yeah, like really, 49 or something. But like now it's like 7 to 9. And it's like,
oh. Yeah. Yeah, and we looked at it the other day, like, we were talking about it at work, but if I bought the same exact house that I bought for the same price now, it would cost me like $700 more just because of the interest. It's any more business.
Good.
Yep.
24.
Excellent.
I got it. I'm like, I haven't done.
Do you have a surface or sander, or
I haven't done. I feel like I haven't done anything.
I was so focused last time on getting. Yeah.
Send me those two so I can post them. I can post them for history on there.
For length do you send through the?
Because that's when I first got to. The only way I found out when the meeting was from the newsletter because whoever sent it, nobody was making the website.
So then you like.
I found out about the fair, and I was like, just because of the newsletter, somehow my wife found it on Squarespace. Like, weirdly, like, posted, but not through the website.
Yep.
Well, hope we get a break for it. It should be now. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I feel like that all the time.
Yep.
I didn't even open it to see what they look like.
Well, that's typical.
I gotta skip from 8 a.m. until you get home at 6, and then you go.
Yeah, it's like ladder or whatever.
Yeah. I do all kinds of things on it.
Yeah.
I have like kind of.
Oh, yes, we do. Yeah. Stay.
Yeah, I don't need any of those.
Yeah,
I don't need any
yeah,
of
that
those.
is a.
Yeah, we'll try to get around.
That's a very good one.
10.
I understand. Yep.
18. 19.
First kid this week.
With Derek.
He's in Virginia.
Last.
Yeah, it's good weather, kind of crappy anyway, so really crappy. So I'm okay with that. Well, they were.
It seems that I am, yeah.
A few years. Tall and baseball.
You have
$1 for
He's going all in.
I have been going out there and I'm filming Woodturners, yes. It's kind of not really generous.
Oh, yeah.
Super quiet. You just really hear it outside of the property, beyond the dirt. No louder than you see. Yeah, it's real quiet. Yeah. Amazing.
I'll write it down.
But I didn't like to go there every night. Climb down the hole, fill the gas, climb it out.
One of the doors back. This one I did my shoulder.
We'll get started in a few minutes. We just want to let Derek catch up on some of the photographs over there.
Yeah, right.
What you ordered? Good catch. Hey, Bob. Ask anyone else if they need anything.
It's rolled over.
Well, while Derek's finishing up over there, we'll get started. Any new members here tonight? Is there people that haven't been around? Okay. Well, thanks for everybody showing up. And I see we've got quite a bit of stuff on the show and tell table. I hope everybody got to see some of that. Some nice items over there. We'll get started with Pete. You want to do your treasurer report?
Beginning balance was $6,044.93. Cash in was $290. 90 came from membership dues, $4 in logos, $25 in 50/50, $75 in donations, and $96 in miscellaneous. Cash out was $221.15. $192 went to for website. 29 went to 15 went to Home Depot for a new power cord that we're using. The $96 miscellaneous that came in was at the website from Club 2. We don't have any money set aside right now for Make-A-Wish. We still have $500 for Aspire, $875 for the computer, giving us an ending balance of $6,113.70 with an adjusted balance of $4,600. 738.78.
Okay. Doing pretty good. Everybody know that Rick is out again this week. He's his operation. He had that couple. Well, I had it on the same day that I had mine, but he hasn't healed enough yet to bend his leg much. So he had his hip replaced. So he's hurting a little bit. He's at home. So maybe I want to give him a call and check on him.
I offered to make practice support him so he could come here and stand.
Yeah,
He didn't like that idea.
we could hang him from the.
Well,
Fine.
here you go.
Derek, do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay. How about Make-A-Wish, Nigel?
Bob and I went to see Jody at Make-A-Wish today, and I signed something.
Yeah.
When you
He
get the
didn't
bill,
read
you'll
it.
know. What you sign.
There's some like $70,000 he has to do in sales this year. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Jody, and many of you probably will have bumped into Jody at the fair. She will be joining us in a week and a half. Or is it 2 weeks? We're going out to the county fair to take a look at the renovated building. We expect to see some changes with the walls, new floors, new lighting, new paint. We're not allowed to damage anything. We'll be looking to see how we might have to change the layout of the display. We'll be looking to see where power outlets are, and all the various things that we can think of. And that will help us then to plan for the next thing, which will be the layout of the tables. A few things are coming in already, which is fantastic. Each week I'm going to be bringing that box, Make-A-Wish, so anybody who's bringing things, I'm happy to take them back with me, or if you go by Joe's shop, you can leave things there in the attic. There's a table. It would be very helpful if you sign your work, or put your name on it, and the species. People love to know what the wood is. Probably more so than the maker, but I think it's nice to have the maker's name on it. I think that's it.
Yeah. Good. Thanks. So, old business from last month. Pete mentioned that we are looking for volunteers to shadow new members for a few months to help them get acclimated into the club. Does anybody want to be involved in that?
I can help.
Okay. It's just somebody to greet somebody when we get a new person in, and introduce them around. Everybody here is friendly enough that we'll help them and give them guidance. So, I want to thank Nigel for doing a great demo last month. It's inspired some good pieces over there, which we'll see during show and tell. Bless you. And tonight we're going to have Derek. He's going to be doing flowers, and that'll be next month's President's Challenge. Okay. So we got the demo tonight with Derek. Stuart will be doing a demo for us in May. He's going to be doing a wave pool. In June, we're going to be getting Rockler to come in, and they're going to be talking about finishes. Okay, so we have a couple set up. And then right now I'm working with Quincy for July. We're thinking about actually doing a meeting at his shop, doing pizza and stuff like that. And so, you guys get to see his shop. It's pretty unbelievable. There's no new equipment in there. Everything is as old as anybody in this room, believe me. And the way they've taken and refurbished some of this equipment and utilize it. Quincy's large lathe is has an 8-foot bed, and it's one of, I think, 14 that were made. So it's kind of a unique lathe, and it's a pattern maker's lathe. So it's pretty beefy, and he's done a lot of work on it. So it'd be interesting to see, and then he would do the demo for us there. And then we're also considering at that point inviting Club 2 to join us for that, so we'd just make one large party of it. It would be bring your own chair. Okay? That would be the only thing we'd have to bring.
Where is that? Where is it?
It's Hurdle. Yeah, it's on Hurdle, down near Elmwood in that area. So it's pretty easy to get to.
Right on the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful place, got a good sized space with his two partners. Next thing we're talking about is when we took over, I wanted to see what our bylaws are. I never saw our bylaws, and we discovered that somewhere over the years, all those got misplaced. So we put together a group. It was our officers, and Rich Malapi helped us, and we sat down and we used the AAW template off the website, but we also had copies of Club 2, Lockport, and Finger Lakes to kind of reference also what they had in them to see if there was anything that stood out. And we were able to put that together. I did about half hour ago send that out to all of you, so you all have a copy. I'm going to actually get a copy to Max, and I'd like to get it posted in the member section, okay? So we have it, where anybody can access it. Because bylaws, you want to keep them alive, and, as you get new leaders in, they should be reviewing it and making sure that everything is still pertinent, and then seeing if you have to make any amendments to what's in there. So thank you, Rich, for helping us with that, and guys are welcome to take a look through it and make sure we didn't miss anything.
Well, did the AAW approve it?
Yeah. And really, the one big thing I wanted to make sure is it's not to make any changes in the club, okay? It was just to get procedures down so we had an actual system as we move forward. So, we also have added an Instagram page. We have our YouTube page, which Brian has been posting on, and then we have a Facebook page. So feel free to go on. We can send that, the information out, how to get to those, but I think a lot of you have found the Facebook page already. Now it's just getting the other, the Instagram is actually linked to it, so if you have Instagram and you're on that, you can see it there too. So that's some of the new stuff. And what we're going to try to do is post what we do here and put it on. So we had part of Nigel's demo last time. We had some of the people doing show and tell, what they brought. It's a way to showcase some of our members and try to get other people in the area interested in joining the club. Let them know that we're here. We're looking for people, and also when we're doing stuff.
Well, if you give me those links, I can add them. Under the more section, I got the YouTube, so we can have all the.
I'll send them to
all
you.
the pages up there for.
Perfect.
And if anybody like Brian, so what I did for the YouTube page is I made it from the admin account that was made for the website, Gmail. So then I invited Brian to also be able to manage the YouTube. So if there's anybody else who wants to, expansion of people, it doesn't need to just be one person. If there's other people who want to be involved with the YouTube page or anything, just let me know and we can grant all out all that.
Great, thank you. That'll be a big help. Anything else anybody wants to bring to the table? Any new things?
get logos? Logos,
Logo.
t-shirts?
Oh, that we have?
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool. So, yeah, as at normal, we have logos that you can purchase. PCPD has them. $2, they iron on. You can put them, they work good on any of the shirts. Like this has been washed about 3 times. There's no expansion. So pretty easy. We also, what else do we got? There's something else I was just thinking of when you said logos.
We got bylaws.
Oh, this.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting right behind. We had received some stuff from Bob Ball, and this last thing is, I don't know, I think there's like 9 hooks in here. You know, this kind of hooks, just a couple of smaller red ones. I don't know if anybody needs these for the shop, but want to, you know, bid on it, just, you know, a couple bucks. You know, it's a good way to, you know, support the club. We'll get these out to you right away. And so, do we have anybody interested? Any needs? Okay. We'll find a use for them, I'm sure, down the road.
Now that you got a little bit of money in your account,
Yeah.
any chance of buying a new grinder for using out at the fairgrounds? It's not gonna burn up our tools like the one we have.
Yeah, I've been looking around for a race staff for that one. It doesn't exist anymore.
So,
I've looked everywhere.
I think that's a great idea,
I,
Stuart.
I've
Grinder and
seen,
wheels.
Well, I think
Uh,
there's
I've
a
seen,
wheel on right now in a different heavier grip wheel. But the grinder at this point just burns up your tools.
So, are we looking to get,
we can try and find another Raycon.
get a Rikon
Or
low speed?
even the Laguna that Joe
Laguna
has.
one,
We could do that.
Well, they want to make a motion to get a new
How
grinder?
much is the Laguna that you have?
I'd have to look it up, I want to say it's like 260 or something.
I'm
like
thinking
that.
it was like 265 or
Yeah.
280 in
It's in
that
that
range.
ballpark.
Then make a motion to buy the Laguna from Joe.
Anybody want to second it?
I'll second it.
There we go. If you don't make it happen.
I'll purchase that grinder from you.
let's splash out and get a wheel dressing tool as well. That's
I'll give you one.
Okay. Good. Those have the nice aluminum oxide wheels on them, is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that one should have. And it has a light on it too, I think, right?
It has a light, yeah.
That's nice at nighttime.
Do it.
We're gonna be all spoiled.
Is there anybody, nobody was opposed, everybody's good with that?
Everybody's good with it.
Okay.
All right.
That was easy. Thank you, Stuart, for bringing that up. Anybody else have anything that is on their mind?
In 134 days, the fair starts.
Talk about putting the pressure on us.
Well, you put it on us last year with that 58,000.
I know, but I don't have to do that anymore.
I know that. That's why we gotta get moving.
The man said.
I mean, how can you get mad at a guy with a
I
British
already talked to
accent?
him.
That's what I figured.
But this is where we gotta get going.
Yep.
Are there things that, items that are needed more than others? And I haven't been there.
Okay, let's,
So, I mean, are there certain things that, you know, you can work on something and choose something over another?
let him answer that question.
Large bowls are always get people's attention at the fair. We found one of the reasons that I demonstrated the spatulas is that the kitchen items do very, very well. So Norm's cutting boards and tongs, the oven squirrels that the squirrels make, they sell like hotcakes.
Can't keep enough.
Yeah. So useful things, definitely. I think we have a really good range of things at the fair. There are bowls that are presentation size and price, down to little peanut bowls. The boxes, candle holders didn't sell very well. Last year we had one or two that just sort of sat there and sell. But I think in general, anything that you make, just think about, is it useful? Is it well made? We want high quality. We have some bandsaw boxes left over from years that haven't sold, and I think it's because they're not the highest of quality. Maybe we need to wax them or something, make them look a little bit more presentable. We came back from the fair last year with quite a lot of material because we had this fantastic treasure trove of Frank Stanko's work that puts the rest of us to shame. So we're still going to have some of his work to sell. What am I not?
I agree with, quality is always, we would rather have fewer things, really nice quality, than a lot of stuff that is already. Kind of the reason we are upgrading the spatulas last year and the year before we had hundreds of spatulas. We made them really quick, got them out there, because the year before we had been gifted about 50 of them, and they went like in 2 days.
Yep.
So we emulated those, but these are much nicer, and selling these sometimes as a set, in the vessel is a way to get us an upsell, so to speak there, and people can really see it and visualize that in their kitchen, and say, oh man, this will look good on the counter, and, so we're trying to get some of that next level into the fair items.
We had a few charcuterie boards last year, and they sold well. And particularly if something goes with it, whether it's a hanging hook that goes with it, or a butter spreader, or
Cheese whip.
or cheese knife. Yeah. They're a little bit hard to display. They're unwieldy, but they're actually quite easy to make. It's more of a commitment in finding a nice piece of wood.
They don't have to be live edge. They don't have to be layered with collars. There's so many different styles you can approach with it.
Yeah.
And like you said, they sold well last year.
We've got a lot of pens that don't seem to sell. I mean,
You spent like an hour with that kid.
just that one pen.
one.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Pens are funny though, because I've learned there's some shows I don't sell any, then there's other shows where I'll sell 5 or 6, and it's you never know. It just depends on who's coming in.
I think it also might be a matter of merchandising. We've tended to have a couple of cups crammed with pens. I've got a feeling that this year I'd like to try having less clutter, not putting everything out all at once, and staging things so that maybe each category is a little bit easier to see. I think people didn't see the pens.
Yeah, and when I display mine, I do it one of 2 ways. If I can put them all out, the case I have them in, I can stand them up in the case, so people can see them that way. Or if I'm only doing a few, I have a couple pen racks that I got from Penn State, but they're easy enough to make where I can display like 5 or 6 of them, at a time, and I'll put those out, and if someone wants to see something different, I'll just pull them out from under my table.
We sold a lot of the cheap pens. The plastic ones. Just sleeve, but that was the.
Yeah, probably like the slim lines that you can sell for 10 or 15 bucks. Those will go faster than, I don't think people are there looking.
No, these weren't even as good as the slim ones.
Yeah.
These were like a
I can't say I've.
And I love
like
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a pet snob.
Yeah. But I mean, the broad answer to the question is, if you feel like making something and donating it to the fair, great, we'll take it.
We'll find a place and
Yeah.
it may become the next new item. That's what we're always looking for, is like, what's the next item that is gonna bring in
Ken, did you
people?
make the dinner?
Why
You
is
made
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that gardening things is a great new thing. Rich?
It's a stick with markings on it.
Mine's
Yes,
pepper.
an inventory list is out of the question.
Inventory?
Yeah,
We have an inventory list.
well, they showed to us.
Yes.
I'll send it out, shall I?
Yeah.
I mean, that answers his question, then
Yeah.
he can see what you don't have.
Uh-huh.
Do you track the inventory list going into the fair and out of the fair to quantify what's sold?
Is it the Fifth Amendment that I'm?
We've done, we did that a couple of years ago. It is a daunting task because there's so many unique things.
Let's barcode everything.
I have no idea what the list looks like or how
What-
long it is.
The king of barcode right here.
Yeah, okay. Just curious.
Yeah, it's like,
pain, but I do
we
it.
have such
And
a
then it's hard to
variety
quantify the
that
things
we
are
bring in.
made
It's,
at the fair,
Fair.
right? Like, there's a lot of tops, so like I sold probably
Yeah.
a dozen baseball little mini baseball bats.
Right off the leg.
Right off the lathe,
Yeah.
like they don't even make it inside.
yeah.
So like, there's a lot
Salt
of
and
stuff
pepper.
like that, but like, there's salt and pepper stuff, you could say, okay, we sold 6 salt and pepper mills, but bowls, until you get into, well, this is a 12, like, for the volunteers to try to keep track of some of that stuff is near impossible.
Yeah.
I think the best we could do is we have the list going in, and then you take an inventory after, and you might be able to see, well, we had 40 bowls, and now we have 20 bowls.
That's what I meant.
And that at
Nothing-
least gives
nothing
you
so
maybe an
detailed
idea how
as a
many.
barcode.
but-
So this is the ending inventory. What did it take us? 3 hours, the two of us working on
Yeah,
it?
a couple hours.
Okay.
So just to do that. And it's not a precise inventory, it's like estimated, because you get into a box and it could be a box this big and it's filled with things this big. And
Well, even rolling pins, right? If you
Rolling
went in
pins.
with, whatever, say 50, and we ended up having to make how many more in the middle of the,
Right.
5 days in, we're making more rolling pins, because those
Yeah.
50 were gone, like, we
The
know
guys that
that's
are good
a
at
sell.
it, counting, are the
There's almost
scroll
never enough of
stars.
those.
Because they make fewer things, and it's like, they know exactly what they make. And they'll tell you how many we sold last year, 3,000 hugs or whatever, It's crazy how many we can move.
How did Christmas ornaments do actually?
Christmas ornaments did very well. We have a box this big. And we
That's it,
started with a couple hundred Christmas ornaments. So Christmas ornaments are another thing that if you're interested in doing, I mean, we have the carvers do that. They do a lot of hand carved, but we also add in when we get in turned ones. And they can be a lot of fun. Derek did a demo on it last year on the box.
The cross drill
Yeah,
ones,
where you cross drill it from 2 different sides. And
Even
you
if you're
turn it.
newer to turning.
Basically, it's like that
you can buy
whisk
almost
over there.
pen kits.
Let's
They
see.
make pen kits that you turn into, they're not pen kits, but they're ornament kits that are just like a pen kit.
Yeah,
It's got a
You
tube
get the
drill in, you can put it on the
finials.
same, pen mandrel, like, they're great.
yeah.
They're inexpensive. We'd probably get a place to donate some of those.
Mhm. Yeah, you might be able to get some. So that's some good conversation, and we'll keep looking at this, as far as what we can do for the fair. It'll be here before we know it, and volunteering is a lot of fun. David can tell us that, right? He's out there with all the kids every day, and he does a lot of tops and stuff, and it doesn't have to be something complex out there. If you're doing turning, it's also a good place to learn to turn in front of people, because there's very little judgment when you get people that know nothing about the turning, and so you just have fun. We've turned snowmen out there, vases, you know, bowls. I mean, Brian, he turns wetwood, and he fills how many garbage bags?
Several.
Yeah, I mean, it's
The ground
every,
staff doesn't like me.
yeah, it's everywhere, the shift, so, we just have a good time, and you're out there with other people, so you're talking, and, you know, and then the other end of it, inside, you get to have fun talking with people, telling them about what you're doing, what you got passion for, and you're working with, you know, some of us bring our wives, and my wife, you know, she always does 3 or 4 days. Joe's wife does some time there, you know. I think everybody's, you know, in the
Gary
boardroom.
Jones brings his family.
Gary Jones has the whole family. I tried to get an invitation to Thanksgiving dinner last year, but, you know, they wouldn't have me, so.
I just sent the inventory to everybody.
But that's what we do, so please, you know, when the sign up is one of our things we were talking about earlier today, is up. Try to get yourself signed up for, you know, a shift. Shift's only about 4 hours, so it's fun to kind of interact, and there's always somebody there to help you through it, and you'll have a good time, I guarantee it.
And even if you're outside on a lathe turning, you may not be turning that full time, because people can come up to you and you may be talking to them, so don't feel you need to finish what you're working at.
Yeah. Now, if you're Stu, he's selling the products off his lathe as it's going, so we're taking money before we even got it finished up. So he's doing the mills with the salt shaker and the peppermint. Those went well. So why don't we do? How much do we have for the 50/50?
29.
29.
Yeah, 29 and 30.
Okay. Why don't we do that first? Get somebody to pull us. Here. All right, so last 4 numbers, 7722. Better check mine. You got it? All right. David Day wins. There you go. Congratulations.
You can't buy my tickets anymore.
I know. I always thought, like, which pocket did I put in? So, why don't we do the show and tell next? We'll get that stuff coming up. So if you have anything, we'll grab that. Put it over. I'm gonna grab mine, get it out of the way, so I can hand out tickets.
This is 30, Joe.
All right, you're going big.
Yeah.
All right, so as the President's Challenge, I did some spatulas, but I also did many other utensils, the ladles, spoons, the wooden whisk. These actually work, by the way. I've done them several times. And I did some vessels for storing them in. One of the interesting, these will also work really well for stirring. Drill your holes ahead of time, and then do your turning, and then shape. And it works really nice for moving things through there. So that was mine for this President's Challenge.
What have you got in the bottom of the vessels to make it? It's just wood. Oh,
Straight wood.
all right.
Richard Mialke. I had not ever done one before, so I did one. I just came off of a picture frame that was shortly from my daughter, and I hated to throw that piece of wood away. It looks like it's cherry, and it worked out for what I wanted.
Rich? Cherry tickets, because Dave,
I love reusing things.
right there. There you go. You got? Oh, I'm in your way. There you go.
And combination scratch all through out of a 360.
Nice. Dave?
I made a bunch of spatulas. They're mostly at home. I'm Nigel, and I have a Tony brother. There is a box of blanks. If anybody wants to take some blanks for making more spatulas, help yourself. They're all offcuts, mostly from, I've been shopping up in Joe's attic, the wood that's up there, because you can make spatulas out of 3/4 inch material. And then this month I've been playing with boxes. I brought a bunch of them, and a lot of them are pieces that I have had lying around for a while, just gorgeous little pieces of wood, and so that seemed to work very well on this box. So this is a piece of split cherry that was lying outside Joe's shop last month. So they're all cross-grain boxes. So no, they don't pop. They have to be loose. That's my defense, and I'm sticking to it.
What, was there, I noticed on a couple of them you have almost a rounded bottom, which I really like, but was that a conscious decision? It was just the way it went for you?
No, I was trying it out.
Yeah, I like it, it's nice.
Because they
It's got a little bit of a wobble, but it doesn't like
it always stays up
roll all over. Yeah, it's nice.
I'm Norm Cosmer. I only brought this in just to remind you guys that the fair is coming up. We got 134 days. I got 24 of these already glued up. I work on it about an hour or two every day, and I do 2 a day. So on 25 days, I'll get my 50 of them. Then I'll go into salad trunks. Thank you.
Thank you. So last weekend I did a demo at Rockler. They asked me to do one on pizza cutter handles. So this is what I did. This is olive wood, Osage orange, and Purple Heart. So these are three pizza cutters to go with the additional 20 I have in my garage that I've yet to turn for Make-A-Wish.
What are you doing with all your time?
I'm standing around.
I did 3 of them.
I just brought in 20 boxes.
Babysitting my 9-month-old grandson.
My name is Tom Price. I'm new. So I took the challenge from last week and found some scrap wood and I made some spatulas.
Very nice.
This is shagbark hickory and this is some black walnut iron.
Pretty cool. Nice meeting you.
Hang on up here, Tom. Hold them up, would you?
It's going to go on your page, so
Yeah,
smile.
nice smile. Everybody else already has a face.
I
so-
can't smile.
Yeah, that's perfect.
You
Thank
got a
you.
good smile, dude.
And welcome.
Yes.
My name is Ward Beaton. I can't talk very loud anymore, so I don't know if you can hear me. I made a couple of these spatulas. I'm not happy with either one. I'm going to try it again later. I made some more of these weed pots. I've got a box of there, 8 or 9, there'll be about 20 or so that need to go over there. I have these 2 weed pots here. This is a piece of wood my brother gave me. He does a lot of woodwork, not with a lathe, he makes furniture and stuff. This is, I can't remember for sure, some kind of peach. This piece of wood that he gave me, about 3 feet long, had a big crack all the way down. And I'm never gonna be able to make anything out of that. But I cut off a piece about a foot long and made this. And I was able to put a hole in there and put flowers in it. But I want to show this to him so we can see what I made. This is, I don't know. I take bottles and cans to local Boy Scout troop. And when I dropped off cans, I saw that they had trimmed some trees around the building. And there was a couple pieces about this long. And I'm guessing they were maybe cut 2 weeks or so before that. So this is the first time I ever tried to turn anything out of green wood. And I want to keep it because I don't know if this thing is going to split or not. I put on some Mylan's friction polish and sprayed it twice with clear lacquer. I don't know if that'll hold it or not. So I'm going to keep that just to see. I've also got some door stoppers in that box over there.
Okay.
Hey.
Thank you.
At least we do this for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Jack Lucernoni. We were out of town during Nigel's demo last month. My wife and I watched his demo and I started having flashbacks to my youth. That's when granted this was very rare, when my brother and I would kind of act out. This is how my mother brought us back in line. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I can make these things.
So, Board of Education.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if it doesn't sell as a spatula, we can sell it.
Yeah.
So when we got home, my wife showed me a spoon that was her favorite spoon. And so this was a 3D model of that, pretty much that spoon. And I made this one on the CNC to use as a pattern, although I didn't do very well with the pattern, the machine won. So this is made on a CNC out of a piece of Sakile, and my wife has made claim to it, as her name's on it, so it's really hers. And then I made this one out of a piece of cherry, the first attempt, and I'm going to keep at it because this one, it's okay, but anyway. All right, thank you.
David Vassie. I missed last month's meeting. I was out of town. I attempted one of the spice strippers, the herb stripper, and my lathe is a 12-inch hobby lathe. Until I get my dad's one-way set up, I couldn't really get the inside of the bowl stripper, so I looked down and said, you know what? My feet really hurt, so I decided to make a foot massager. And I'm really glad that when I finished and cut it off that I didn't round off both edges, because now it won't roll the way under the couch. My first attempt I was using walnut, and I kept on getting checks and checks of just control. It just got smaller and smaller and smaller, so that one was now firewood. So then found a nice piece of cherry that my dad had labeled CH, so you know, and then I told the wife that this is one for the right foot, so I've got to make another one.
Left foot?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, sir.
Stuart Weesmore. Need a couple bandsaw boxes for granddaughter's birthdays. So this cherry. Pretty simple to make. Not something you get to turn, but you get a nice blade in your bandsaw. Just being that it's a heart, you just one cut through the center so you can get this milled out. Did the President's Challenge also, 3 spatulas. For whatever reason, I can't make them all the same. Not very good at that. Give it a try.
They don't have to be the same, that's for sure.
What is the other anti-waxing made?
One's maple, one's cherry.
Maple, yeah.
So then I got a 5-year-old grandson. Made him a fire truck to play with. Also turned it into a bank so that, put a few coins in it. Put some Velcro on so the ladder will come off. The little string hose will actually come out. But I ended up making 3 of these at the same time. Probably spent, I don't know, maybe 2-3 hours a day on them for the last month, making 3 of them. So just using scraps that I throw in a box. That's it.
Stuart, I think we want those spatulas to all be a little different. I think it helps.
Yeah, it gives them character.
Because I can't turn these in. My wife says, well, why aren't they the same?
All right, is that all?
Because you're not a,
One will go into your house, somebody else's house.
How about when you do kitchens?
What's that?
How about when you do kitchens, are they all the same?
No, nobody's kitchen's the same.
Okay, winner of the show and tell ticket, 7648, last 4 numbers.
Who was right before me?
7648.
There you go.
Okay. So, Buffalo wood turning products or craft supply? Sorry? Gift certificate for Buffalo wood turning products or craft supply?
Oh, the wood turning products.
So why don't we take 5 minutes, we'll get set up, and
Yep.
then you can do demo on the flowers schedule. I think you might try to do a daffodil.
daffodil.
Yeah.
Daffodil.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Making,
Oh.
That's why I have myself list right now.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. If you're interested, take my information. Give me a call if you want to come over and try it.
Yeah, I was take you up on that. Getting me back in the spirit. I haven't touched anything since, probably October. And talking to David was the same thing. Once you get away for a while and things aren't working real well, and your system's going back. Go out in the garage and turn your head. And something else. I got something on the lathe that I didn't finish. And the weather was nice, and it's still sitting there. Probably finish it in an hour, but I can't get over there and get in there.
Well, I'm on hiatus for a little while.
I'm just having to show what to do before I can do this.
I wrote this like a schedule for New Year's resolution.
Probably another couple months.
And
That was just trying to put in
the end of each day,
couple days before
be like,
last
I'm gonna
week.
go do this thing for an hour and a half, get to the wee hours of the night alone and basically.
I got good weight. I've been working out.
That's what I thought, but also
I have good strength. And like right now, because from the
an hour and a half
it starts to,
Getting frustrated dealing with something that I don't like.
well, it's reversed.
It's not the most
It's
fun
reversed.
activity.
The ball is on my shoulder, and the socket's on my arm.
I got the
It flips it.
very door casing on the pocket door.
Show, I get a back here, and now it's here.
Oh, I ripped the tendon in this one and this one.
Outside?
Yeah. I have more screws in my arm.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But the other
That's a bad tear, you know, when you do that.
Yeah, I should have.
A few years back, I go to the industry first, you know. Put this in, it's on the X-ray,
One of these,
10 days after.
this is like, you can hit a wall with it. One of those, big screws are fine. I don't remember if it's at this point.
So they take it, they drill down into the bone, they cut the top off,
And I have
they drill down into the bone, they always do it with the socket on your arm. Then they cut
Because I like the way the
plate
dies blend.
where your shoulder is,
The blades,
and they put the ball on there.
paints are pearlescent.
So it's reverse of what most people have. So, you know, what it does is it takes your rotator 1 month.
I don't know where you need it.
Last Monday was a month.
Oh, so right there is probably okay.
Corey Reed, he's out of Excelsior. He's done all my surgery.
I feel like a professional now. I feel like I'm at the AAW.
So I go to the one out in Orchard Park because I'm right out of Boston.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're all in the bottom of it right now. I can pull them all out.
Yeah, but the problem is, then you go to put a pencil in it.
Well, it's nice because then it doesn't poke through it.
Because all my upper stuff.
Sometimes I put like
Save this finger.
my spindle gouges in there if I'm changing them a lot. And the wood shavings keep it from poking through. No, seriously. It's awesome.
He did both my elbows. He did my shoulder twice because I had a bad accident.
You have to do
No.
All the rotator cuff muscles.
I gotta be honest, they said I'm doing flowers. You only do flowers.
Put it back together.
Last name again?
Reed. R-E.
I look at it a lot.
Andy's a woodworker.
Look at the hammer staring at all?
Yeah, there's these guys office hours up there also. I mean, you know, across from Dent, there's the surgical center over there. That's where they, on Sheridan, they work out of that. That's where he does surgery. Yeah. Yeah, a couple blocks in. Yeah. So there's a car lot start on the.
Like that? I go there, there's a guy there who does my stuff.
Yeah.
Hamstring. You know, he goes to spot.
Yeah. This isn't his specialty, but he saved my
Axminster?
and used some kind of.
I have two of them.
Uh,
Yep, I have two of them and I have,
for lack of like a
I don't know, 8 different sets of jaws that go with them.
that actually glue the skin back.
I have 2 sets of the O'Donnell jaws.
I got to
I
watch
have
the whole surgery.
like a deep grip jaw that I use for some hollow forms. I have regular duck. No, they just turn right out. You can just back them all out. All the jaws have, I have all my jaws on the bases. This base comes off. So all the sets I have are on a base, and then you just back everything out until they slide out, and you slide the new ones in. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Mechanical makes things, and then it makes shit.
All right, guys, why don't we come back over? Derek looks like he's getting ready.
I don't know. Something. All right, well, we're going to see how this goes because I haven't done flowers in probably 2 years, but it seemed like springtime was a perfect time to do this, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we're going to go with it because I'm not going to mess around. All right, I came with an assortment of stuff today, so I figured we could do traditional tools. I can do it with carbide tools for anybody that uses carbide tools, and we can go from there. So all I did to prep was take some, I'm using poplar today, so I just took some poplar, turned it round, and get it centered in here. And then I use these deep jaws that I have. I mean, you can really do it any way that you're comfortable with. Whatever jaws you have that'll hold it will be fine. I'm going to start out with the tailstock in, even though I don't really need it with these, but just for the heck of it. You see everything still? Okay, good.
I love the anti-glare shield. That's a nice...
That's a Brian thing.
Yeah. No, it's not Brian. Innovation.
That's a Joe thing.
That's a Bob thing.
That's a Bob thing. Bob's got it down.
Somebody here did it.
So, like I said, I haven't done these in a while. The last time I did them, I don't even know what you would call this. It was supposed to be a tulip, but I fanned the tops out quite a bit. We're going to go something along this line, something along the line of a tulip. And if I feel adventurous, I have toyed around with in the past trying to do daffodils. So I have, like a little bell, and then I've got a piece set up ready to try to do the base so that I can make a little daffodil. But we'll start by getting a basic shape, making sure that this is round, and go from there. And I'm just going to guess at how big I'm going to want this. I'm just going to start by getting an idea where my base of the tulip's going to be. And get it to round. And I'm not going to go too deep on the cut because I've got to hollow it at some point. And just switch to left hand. Start shaping the top. Just give myself a little bell shape. Close enough. Let's get this out of the way.
Actually, the lighting's better when you don't have it shining on. Yeah.
Better there?
Yeah.
All right. Turn this down just a little. So Joe went through this at one point, what was that, a few months ago? He did a back hollowing demo.
Yeah.
So you could do these back hollowing. You could do them with a carbide tool. I like to drill a little bit. And in fact, I'm going to steal a piece of tape here. Give myself an eyeball so I don't go too deep. That out of the way so I don't cut my hand again. And then I'm just going to start taking this down. And they're pretty good. I'm about to the bottom of my hole. I'm going to switch up to a carbide tool. I need some light here. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. I'm going to clean up the edge. I'm just going to real slow work my way in. And I'm just eyeballing the tool with the edge of the flower right now so that I can try to guide it in. Not that there's much of a shape to this one. Right down into the bottom. Quite a way to go. Pretty good at the top. A little bit more to drill through. Get that back up. Without any of, because it's not a full hollow form, I'm just doing it all by eye. I'll just double check with my finger where I'm at. Just got to go a little deeper. I can sand the inside down. Get that little nub out. I'm just going to double check my depth. So I'm just doing it with my thumb. I'm pretty much at the bottom. I got plenty of room to finish up my curve there. And my inside is feeling pretty good. So I'm just going to clean it up a little bit with some sandpaper on the inside. 240.
How well does the carbide work on the poplar?
Really well. It works well. I haven't found much that the carbide doesn't work well on. I mean, any carbide can be touchy. This one is small enough. It takes a little bit of touch. You don't want to just like jam into it. So like on the sides, if I want a cleaner finish, it's just a matter of, as I'm going in, I'm being real gentle on that last cut, almost like you would be with a scraper. And I try to tip the tool just a little bit to give it almost like a negative rake. I have a couple of carbide tools that are negative rake on the tip, but the one I have is it's a bigger size. It's like a number 3, I think they call it. This is a number 1. So it's a little big for something like this. The poplar's a little goofy just because it's so soft. But yeah, if you're gentle with it, like you don't want to, I always keep my hand over the top and I kind of adjust my pressure just with my fingers a little bit. And I just kind of let it glide across it. I'm trying not to dig into it when I'm doing like a finishing type cut. Otherwise, when I'm going in, I've got a nice grip on it. I'm keeping my elbow above it so that it doesn't want to tip up. But this one, the poplar's soft enough, it doesn't really want to grab. If this were walnut, I might have to fight it a little more, and I'd be a little less aggressive with it. But the poplar's pretty easy to get through. Especially like if you want to try to clean up the edge on this, it should do it pretty well with this. I'll keep it tipped down a little bit so it's more negative rake. And I'm not even using my back arm to control it at all. I'm just sliding it with my finger and letting it glide across the top. And I can already feel it's a much better finish than what was there before. And it's just a matter of being real light with it and just letting my fingers lay across the top and glide it back and forth. I think before I go into cutting this, I'm just going to clean this up real quick. And I know there's probably a bunch of guys out there that are like, why is he shoving his finger in there with the sandpaper? It's probably not the greatest thing to do, but this is small enough. And I've got it low enough that I don't feel unsafe doing that. I mean, I already cut my hand on the saw blade over there, so. Yeah, when I was trying to move the thing. Because I never turned the saw blade back around after I bought it. All right, so I'm just gonna take the end over here down as tight as I dare. Now that I don't really have to do any more cuts. Although actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna use the saw first and do this. I'm gonna take my pencil. I'm going to give myself 2 marks. I'm going to turn this about 90 degrees. Give myself another 2 marks as a guide. I'm going to fix my coping saw so that it's too late. Because why would they put the blade on there the right way to start with? Come on, honey. All right, well, she doesn't want to come loose, so we'll just do it backwards. So I don't want to mess around with it. Not exactly the right way for a coping saw, but it'll be fine. And all I'm going to do is try to cut some basic petals on this. How do I want to do that? Okay. Gonna cut straight in. Get this one lined up. Try to cut down to the same point. And then once I got that, and I went way too deep, and this is going to be a piece of firewood now, but okay, I totally messed the whole thing up, but it's okay.
You get the idea.
Yeah, we all get the idea, right?
So what do you want to do? Go down about a half inch or so?
Yeah, probably. I went a little too deep. It's going to look a little stupid. But the beauty of the way that I cut them is it's real easy to just take that one off and go to the next one.
As someone who's probably the rookie in the room, it feels real good to watch other people make mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. What are you going to do?
No, exactly what you're doing. You move on.
Don't work well under pressure.
What's that?
Don't work well under pressure.
Yeah, you know. It happens. Can't all be good. The good news is it's pretty easy to fix. There's the firewood. And now we'll just get this back to start. Little starting point for the drill after. Just do a smaller one this time.
It's smaller, don't use that depth code.
I was just thinking that. That's pretty close. And I guess instead of back hollowing this one, I'll just do it all with the carbide. I'm being way more aggressive with this. Let's see. the problem with poplar is the shavings are tiny. All right, that's pretty close. Sweet. Okay. Get myself in here to clean her down a little bit. Grab a smaller gouge. And my goal here is just to get the stem that I'm going to use for these is just a 1/4 inch dowel. So my ideal goal is to get this end down to where when I drill through with the 1/4 inch drill bit, this just pops off. And I can get the bottom of this painted, dyed, whatever. I'm going to paint them. But if you're doing it at home, whatever you decide you're going to do with it, you're in good shape with how that's going to end up. And that should be about right. Stay. Stay. Okay. There's a couple ways you can decorate them. I'm going to use an airbrush. I'm not going to cut this one because we can see what it's supposed to look like from these, and I don't want to mess another one up. I'd rather get into the painting and the decorating because this part of it is simple enough. You could do it with a coping saw. You could cut it with, if you had like carving tools, you could almost carve that out with a carving tool. You could do it with a Dremel tool. You could do it without it. Sometimes the tulips are just flat across the top. It's not that big of an issue. You could do it any number of ways. I'm going to skip messing around with the coping saw right now so that we can get through this and see the couple ways to do some of the finishing. So like I said, you could do it with, I'm going to use an airbrush just because that's what I wanted to try to use when I first did these. It is extremely easy to do with just dyes, if you have dyes. Just a cloth. Whatever you use for a dye. I like these Artisan. They're like an alcohol dye. I like the way that they blend on the wood. These ones I airbrushed, so I was able to go from yellow. This was actually just yellow and red, and because of the way the dye works, it turns orange in the middle, so you get a nice gradient when you do it that way. You can get that same gradient just by applying it with a cloth. You got to be a little more ginger. I don't know, I just thought an airbrush was a fun way to do it, and you can use the airbrush on multiple different things. If you wanted to stencil on platters, you can get stencils for the platters, and you can use the airbrush to do that. If you were just making a vase or making whatever, and you wanted to dye it, the airbrush is a nice way to do it. If you want to just hit certain spots or blend things, it works out pretty well. This is just going to be paint instead of dye because it's pearlescent paint. So it should give it a little bit of shine as well. Just make sure that's a little clean in there. I'm going to turn the lathe on just low speed. And just gently apply the color. No.
Is that a solvent or water-based?
It's just a water-based paint. And it's hard to see probably on the camera, but this paint in particular it's pearlescent, so it's got almost like glitter in it. So it gives it just a nice little shine. I mean, I can see it really well from here. I really actually kind of like the way it does that. I don't know how these blend. I have a yellow one. I don't know if I put yellow on if it's going to turn it orange or if it's going to blend, but we're going to find out. The other thing with the airbrushes that's interesting is I'm still trying to figure out with some of them all the different tips. This one has a very fine tip, so you could see when I was putting it on, I could almost make a spiral with it. Some of the other ones, like this one that I have, is a larger tip, so it covers more space faster. Just going to clean this out. Get the red out of there. And we're going to try some of the yellow. Just turn the lathe on low. Oh, it's actually not bad. So let's do that from up front. Yeah. Actually kind of like the yellow. And then we'll drill that off. Put that guy there. This other one is just a cleaner to clear out the brush a little bit. I got these airbrushes from Hyatt's over on Elmwood. I was looking when I was getting ready for this because I wasn't sure how these were still, like, I hadn't used them in so long. I couldn't remember how well I cleaned it the last time that I used it. Harbor Freight has sets that are extremely inexpensive, and all of the reviews on them are really good. Especially if it's something that you may not use all the time. I think it would definitely be an option to look at if it was something you were interested in doing. They even have the little compressors. I think you can get a whole setup for probably under $100. Brush and brush and compressor, and get a pretty decent setup right off the bat. And then the hope is that I cut this short enough that when I drill through it, it comes off. What's that? Probably not, but I'm going to catch it anyways, because why not? It's going to be close. And if it's not, it's just one cut. All right, so it wasn't, but that's okay. Get myself right in there. And I mean, the airbrush is pretty good with, I mean, there wasn't anything on this tape. There's nothing on my chuck. It's very controllable, which is nice.
If you use those artisan dies, make sure you wear gloves.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't come off very easily. They do not like to come off. Okay. Sweet. And then all it takes is a little bit of glue, and you can pop it on a stem. Yeah, I could cut it with the saw, but I don't feel like grabbing the saw again. And I've got some finished ones at home that I leave out. You can take the 1/4-inch ones, soak them a little bit, bend them. I put them up against like a coffee can and tie it down, so you can get some stems that are, you can put them in a little vase. Some go straight up, some go a little bit left, some go like, it gives it a nice little, and then you can do the same thing. It's just a little bit of paint, a little bit of, honestly, whatever, and you can put together a nice little bouquet of, tulips are super easy. Like I said, daffodils I really want to do, but I don't know if right now is the time to do it. So we're going to do one more tulip, and I'm going to do it with the dyes instead, so we can see what that looks like compared to just the paint. But I kind of like the paint because I like the pearlescent on it. It's not totally dry, but it's not gonna, yeah, it's not doing anything to you. But it's got a nice little shine to it. Let's get this out of there. It also helps if you have a really small tool rest, so that it's not in your way the whole time you try to work. Just do the same thing. Get this back to round. that out of the way. Back this guy out. Double check my drill depth. And go a little deeper than the tape. Poplar's great because it drills real easily. This thing's a pain. Tool rest's going to be just about center. I'm just going to keep working my way down into the center and back out. How many guys use carbide tools, like often? I mean, the one thing I always pay attention to, especially when I look to buy them, is what they recommend as an overhang. I mean, something small like this is pretty easy, but you got to make sure you're paying attention to that because it's different on different tools. And if you get past that point, it can get a little sketchy. You got to really watch. And give this a check. Lots of dust. Okay, a little more just at the bottom. Be nice and even. I'm just trying to get a little nub out in the center so when I put the drill bit back in, it's got somewhere to register. And that's pretty good. Clear all this junk out of there. Pretty even. Quick sand. And that's good enough. I'll let the wood tell me when the sanding's done. All that junk out of there. I'm going to clean up the bottom again, get it as tight to where my 1/4 inch mark is going to be. Back to the really little spindle gouge. Clear myself some room. We got a little mini chalice. Didn't know you were going to see that tonight, did you? Shot glass. That's close. Perfect. Quick little bit in here. Good. A couple gloves. All right. Grab a little bit of paper towel. A little bit of lathe protection. And I'll start with some yellow on the inside. So I'll just kind of soak up the paper towel a little bit.
Someplace locally, did you buy that dye?
I do not buy it locally. I get it on Craft Supply. I believe is where I got all these. They last a long time. I've had this bottle, and I use this a lot. I use the dyes a lot. I use them on Christmas trees. I use them on flowers. I've used them on Christmas ornaments for doing like finials. I use the dyes on. I've done them on tops. I mean, you name it. I've put it on. I've done it on bowls, vases. Like I said, because they're alcohol based, they mix really well. So if you want to try to blend things in, you can get a nice blend with them. It works really well for that. They overlap really well. You can do black and then sand it down, especially on a lot of open grain stuff. You can put the black on, it soaks into all the open grain, you sand it back, and then you can put red over top of it, and you get a real nice view of the grain doing it that way. I like to do that on ash a lot of the time. Works nice. I'm just going to put this on a real low speed. I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm just going to work my way up from a lot to nothing.
What finishes can you put on top of the dye?
I always do a friction polish. You can do lacquer. You really got to let it. The tricky thing with them can be that because they're alcohol based, they can reactivate. So like sometimes it takes like 4 or 5 layers of friction polish before I stop getting bleed through on my cloth. I'll do the dyes and then I'll sand it back a little bit, like to 400, and then I'll use the Yorkshire grit over top of that a lot of the time. That helps to blend some of the splashy parts if you get splashy parts. And then I just go with my standard finishes over top of that. We'll go with some red. And just do the same type of thing. Get it on there. I'm going to let it soak into the cloth a little bit because I don't want to go too dark on it. I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to start at the top here and then work my way down with it. Is it? We'll get a little bit on the inside just to give it a little bit of extra color. And then I'm going to go back over the bottom a little bit with the yellow just because I think it needs it. Poplar's a little tricky just because it's going to soak a lot of it in. But you can get a pretty interesting blend when you do it that way. But always wear gloves, because it will get you. Did it really get me on the head? I don't know. I remember the last time I did this, I had it all over my hands because I screwed up and didn't do it that way. Actually, like, the inside isn't, it's a little choppy. I don't know where the camera is. When I cut this off, I'll put it up on the camera. But it gives it, you can see it from there? I like it. It gives it like a little bit of a, almost like a flame kind of look on the inside. And then I would just, on these, what I would probably do, I would drill the hole, and if I were home, I would hang them through the hole, and I'd use, I bought the lacquer shot from Joe's shop, and I really like that stuff. And I would hit this with that lacquer shot, probably 2 or 3 coats, and then I would glue the stem on it. This one should hopefully, I think I got it to a 1/4 inch this time. I think. We're going to find out. But if you didn't have lacquer, or if you wanted to, you could do it right on the lathe with your standard friction polishes. It's probably the best bet of friction polish because it's going to put something solid over top of it. I wouldn't just go with walnut oil. And then it just needs a little cleanup with a knife or a gouge or whatever. And you can get the same, just cut your stem down. You can put your stem in. I've seen people put the stem up a little bit and paint it inside so it looks like a stamen. I usually just glue it in until it's right near the top. And then I take a little black marker and I just hit it with a little bit of a black marker or red or yellow. But you can kind of see on the inside there. Is that up there? Yep. Not perfectly sanded, but it gives it a nice kind of look on the inside. I don't know if anybody wants to look at that. And you can, like I said, you can get crazy. You can change the shape. You can cut those edges on. You can go with purples and blues and have a whole nice bouquet of springtime flowers. The dyes and the airbrush are also really nice if you are into making eggs around Easter time. They do a really good job of color options and blending and different techniques you can use with those to make eggs look really nice. There's a lot of different options. That's all I got. Pretty basic. Any questions?
How often do you use carbide tools?
I don't want to say I don't use them, but I only use them in very specific situations, like this small hollowing like that, or even on bigger hollowing, I use them. If it's a big hollow, I have a really nice hollowing tool that I bought from David, which is amazing for larger vases. I'll do like some that are like this big, and that thing is perfect for that. There's no vibration, like it's super easy to clear them out. I don't typically use the carbide tools for shaping the outsides of things, especially the round ones. I'm very heavy-handed, so I have a tendency to dig in if I'm trying to make a fine curve or something like that. I'll use them on occasion if I need to get into a tight space and I don't have the reach with like a spindle gouge because it gets too much vibration if I'm too far off the tool rest, but I can do that with the carbide tools. They work nice for that. I'll use it if I'm doing a cove because I'm terrible at small coves. But, you know, like this little guy is like a perfect size to make just a nice little cove if I'm trying to do something on the bottom of a bowl or, you know, really anywhere. I can make a pretty perfect cove with this without having to mess around with 75 cuts on a spindle gouge because I keep messing it up. But they're not my go-to, other than hollowing. Really, it's the main go for hollowing. But they're super useful. I mean, and they're a great tool. Like my kids learn to turn pens with carbide tools. They still use them when they turn pens. They're perfect for stuff like that. They're perfect just to get into turning and to be confident. Like they're a very easy tool to use. So yeah, I think they're great. I really do. What's that?
So you don't have to sit there and learn to sharpen as well as when you start.
No, you don't. Depending what you're doing, like I sharpen mine. I rotate them, you know, depending how often I use them. I'll rotate. You're supposed to rotate them a little bit, and they do make, like Rockler sells a carbide sharpener. It's just a little magnet with a stone, and that thing actually works really nice. I definitely use the negative rake carbide tip a lot. Or if I'm doing anything with epoxy in it, I'll use carbide. I get a much cleaner cut on the epoxy than I do, and I'm not messing up my standard tools where I'm sharpening them every, you know, super often because of the epoxy, because it'll wear those down like lightning fast.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Cool.
If anyone needs a refresher, because they're going to make something on a week or two, go to our YouTube channel, it'll be there.
Thanks, Derek.
Yep. Yes, thank you. Yeah, see you next month.
So for Woodturning and Grass Yeah. I do this because I like it.
I know, but this is
No, I appreciate it, but no. Say that. You can say that for some years.